September, no, it's October now. Some of the most incredible metallics and will, I think, forever be some of the most incredible metallics. Okay, whatever. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing my it's October now. October monthly faves and flops. I tried quite a bit of stuff and honestly I pretty much loved it all. I want to, kind of give you reasons as to why I loved it. And yeah, first thing, and is probably my absolute favorite product that I tried this month, is my Pat McGrath Mega Palette. I am absolutely obsessed. I think it's really incredible. I think the metallics are just so unique, so literally out of this world, and I really do think that it is worth the money. It's actually a better value than their original Mothership palettes. I think it's something that if you're looking for a Pat McGrath palette, I would jump on it because it's $105 Canadian, $78 US. You get a 18 pan Pat McGrath palette, just as good quality as their regular Mothership palettes. You actually get more eyeshadow. For your money, you're getting more. I do definitely think I think every single Pat McGrath palette that I've used, I think it could use more mattes, but I think that really what makes Pat McGrath's palette stand out are her metallics and how unique they are and how incredible they are. So I think that if she had, a palette with half matte, I think it would almost be more disappointing. So I think that knowing that this is just what Pat McGrath is known for, this is just like every other palette. You get 3 mattes, lighter like dusty rosy pink, you get a more warm reddish brown, and then a cooler tone plummy purple. All 3 are really good in pigmentation, blend out really well, you can build them really well. Metallics are really where it's at in this palette. They are the ones that shine through. I don't necessarily like to review a palette and say, this would be a great palette in combo with another palette that has some good mattes. But I mean, if you guys already have another palette that has some more, lighter transition shades, if you're intimidated by these really, really dark mattes, you can also use another palette that you own with some softer, lighter mattes if that's more up your alley. But I honestly would purchase this palette even without the 3 mattes. Like, it's that incredible. So it is one I recommend for sure. I do have a really super, super glam look that I did with it. When I reviewed it, I'll link the video below so you can see, me actually using the palette. I have all the swatches, but I will just show you some of my favorite shades. A nice gold, but it almost has like a greenish shift. It's a bit of a duochrome. It is so incredible. They're all very finely milled and very pigmented. There's this one here. Is it like 3 different colors? I think so, because in some lights it looks kind of purple, in some lights it looks kind of green, and in some lights it looks kind of bronze. So I love that color as well. A shade like this, which some lights it looks black, in some lights it looks really bright purple, and then there's also glitter within it. So it's like all these shades are really, really like complex. They're not just a gold metallic, a purple metallic. Like, they are very unique. This beautiful purple. This one here is just kind of like a gold metallic, but the reason that it's still being just a gold metallic, it stands out to me. Look at how shiny, shiny, shiny that is. Like, look at my finger. It looks like so insane. Are some of the most incredible metallics and will, I think, forever be some of the most incredible metallics. I'm honestly like over the moon about this palette. I also have a giveaway going on, so if you are interested in winning one of these for free, I have all the information listed in the description below. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel. There will be a link in the description. Click that. It will go to the video where I announce the giveaway of this. It's also the review of my MAC holiday collection. So all you have to do is comment what your favorite Christmas tradition is, and you're entered. There's also information on how to get additional entries in the description, so I'll leave that up to you guys. Go ahead, enter to win one of these, because it's honestly one of my absolute favorite eyeshadow palettes, like in the world. Another thing I absolutely fell in love with was the Natasha Denona holiday collection. So this collection comes with the mini Zendo palette. I really, really like this palette because it comes with kind of a mixture of warm and cool tones. So you get this really, really beautiful like silver. You know how sometimes silvers can look kind of bluish or green? It almost has more of like a purpley undertone to it. So it's actually one of the most beautiful silvers I've seen. It's very pigmented. Then you have a more warm, a little bit more natural metallic, and this is like a duochrome. So in some lights it looks pretty, you know, coral, peachy, and then in some lights you get that really beautiful like bronzy gold. Really incredible metallics. There's more of a satiny finish burgundy, and then the mattes are incredible. Natasha Denona's eyeshadows are some of the most amazing, right up there with Pat McGrath. These I know are some of the most high-end brands and very expensive, but guys, I'm telling you, they're worth it. This is only 25 US, 33 Canadian, so still expensive for a mini palette, but if you're interested in Natasha Denona, it's a really cool way to, you know, test your formulas, and you can still create a couple looks with this palette and for a more reasonable price. And then there's this one, which, as I said, still 105 Canadian, 78 US, but for Pat McGrath, that's reasonable. And I mean, you get a ton of metallics in this. You don't need all of her eyeshadow palette, so this is one I would recommend. So then part of the Natasha Denona holiday collection is the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. This is really, really beautiful. I think it's going to be a little bit more suited for light to medium skin tones, but if you are darker skin tone and you like a super beaming highlight, I think it could still work. It has enough gold in it that it's not going to clash. It's just going to show up more on darker skin tones is what I'm trying to get across. If you are watching and you have darker, deeper skin tone, then just keep that in mind if you're going to purchase it, but I think it still is a pretty universal shade. If you really don't like gold, it does have enough gold in it that it may deter you. Understandable. It's not like super, super icy, but it is absolutely stunning. It is definitely a nude champagne. I think that they described it perfectly, and it is very, very blingy. But you can also do like minimal highlight and still get a bit of a natural highlight. I'm just gonna pop a bit on the nose. I didn't put any highlight on the nose today because I wanted to show you. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm wearing a Tarte highlight, which I actually really like on the cheek. It's really stunning, but you can even see the difference. Look at how that just looks like it's melted into the skin. You don't see any texture with these. It just looks like wet, beautiful highlight. It's like that wet, finely milled, stunning highlight. I absolutely love, love, love. This is one of my favorite highlights now. So incredible. The last thing in the collection was the lipsticks. I do recommend her lipsticks for sure. I think that the formula is incredible, and I personally, because I have a neutral skin tone and I do like a peachier nude, both of the shades looked really good on me. I think if I had to pick one, it would be Maria. Another product that I tested from Natasha Denona this month that I absolutely fell in love with is the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadow. I'm just gonna pop it right beside these Pat McGrath eyeshadows. It's this one right here. It is actually a triochrome, so it's a nude, which you can kind of see right now, and then it's a green, and then it's a pink, I believe. Adds so much like activity to the lid. It really just transforms any look. They are beautiful formulas. They don't dry down immediately, so you do have the chance to kind of manipulate them, blend them out a little bit so that they, you know, don't look dry, they don't look messy. You can play around blending them into the powder eyeshadow that you already have laid down if that's what you choose to do, and it doesn't look dry, which is my #1 complaint about liquid shadows, is they kind of look crusty and dry. These do not at all. They melt right into the skin and look just as good as a powder metallic. So definite recommend there. I'm loving the Natasha Denona stuff lately. And then I have one more fave from this month, and that is from Melt Cosmetics. I tried actually last month, but I just kind of forgot about this stuff, and then I've been using them a little bit more. So it's a digital dust highlight called Morning Star. It is so beautifully like creamy, very, very similar actually to the Natasha Denona formula in terms of like creaminess, absolutely no specks of glitter. It looks like that definitely wet, beaming highlight, and I'm obsessed. I like the color. I think it's just, it is more of like a champagne, a little bit like whiter, a little bit icier than the Natasha Denona one, as you can see, but it actually is a bit of a shift, and it kind of goes a little bit more rosy gold, not dark enough that it would contrast at least my skin tone. So I'm obsessed. This is really, really nice and a definite recommend from Melt Cosmetics. And that is it for my faves. I've been testing a ton of product since then. The MAC line that I just was talking about where I announced my giveaway. I did not include that in today's video because I do want to kind of test them a little bit more before I decide if they're favorites or not. So that is it for my faves. I have 2 flops for today. So number 1 is from Butter London called Teddy Boy. I got this in one of my recent BoxyCharm boxes. I don't like this. The mattes are patchy. Now, I don't know how they're going to look when I actually, I don't know, they don't do themselves very much justice as a swatch either. You can kind of see what I mean. They're a little bit patchy. They didn't blend out very well. Lost a lot of the pigmentation. Really looked patchy. A lot of the shades just looked kind of muddy. And you can have really cool toned shades without looking muddy. They just didn't do it for me. I was not interested in the shades, and I don't mind like a cool toned smoky palette. Ultimately, the reason I didn't like this is the mattes were super patchy, but also the metallics just weren't that exciting. The metallic from that, like, does it even really look metallic to you? And I'll even pack some more on there, like barely light reflecting. And then I thought, okay, whatever. It's supposed to be maybe a bit more of like a natural metallic. It was a dull palette, and then formula still didn't really do it much justice. This was the only metallic that was like metallic to me. But do you still see what I mean? Like, still not very good. Like, what is that? Like, look at these Pat McGrath palettes shimmering and shining, and like, they're out of this world, and then you look down here and I'm like, no, it really missed the mark. I apologize if you got it as well from your BoxyCharm box. I mean, the one thing I could say is you could use some of the mattes as liners because you can wet them and then they'll probably pull through. If you want to get some use out of it. Don't mind Butter London though. I've tried eyeshadow before from them and I've enjoyed it. So this one just missed the mark and I don't recommend it. And then the last flop is actually from Melt Cosmetics. I tried this in the video. I did a fall vampy inspired tutorial, and I actually loved everything I tried pretty much. I loved the highlight. The eyeshadow palette was really nice. It didn't necessarily stand out to me. Like, I've seen a lot of palettes like that, and that's why it's not in today's video. It's not necessarily a favorite. It's nice though, so if you're interested in kind of checking that palette out, I'll link the video that I review that and a bunch of other Melt Cosmetics stuff down below. This though is the one product I really was disappointed in. This is their gloss. So I got it in 2 shades. This is the shade that I've tried. I will admit I have yet to try the second one just because I was so unimpressed with the first one. I applied it first on top of the lipstick. Loved the lip. I thought it gave a beautiful shine. I thought it had absolutely incredible pigmentation. It really does. But about an hour later, I looked at my lips. This gloss bled like wild. So I don't recommend this gloss. This is in the shade Overkill. I'm not going to say that every single shade does it because I don't necessarily know. Because I have yet to try any other shades, but I'm assuming that it's not just one color. It's typically the formula. Specifically, Overkill Molten Metal Lip Gloss by Melt Cosmetics bleeds like crazy, and like, it was messy. I had to remove it. It was bad. So I don't recommend it. It looked incredible upon first application, but it's just, it's also dark and it kind of stains. So it really just made a whole mess of my makeup. Yeah, definitely disappointing, and I don't recommend this gloss. You can find absolutely incredible glosses that are just as pigmented elsewhere. Maybe steer clear from this one. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little monthly faves and flops. I do these every month just to give you kind of updates on which products I'm loving, which products I'm hating. If you enjoyed, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell. Don't forget to enter the giveaway that's in the description below. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.